I welcome you to this lesson. I'm teacher Katimbo once again, teaching mathematics. This time round class P.7 and it's term 2, and this work will be found on page 5 as you go along, 6 in that order. I promised in this episode to do the application of fractions, which is required of us in P.7. How applicable fractions are in one's life. It is a lesson I've come with today, and ensure you follow so that you apply fractions even when you are away from school. So example number 1 reads, tap A can fill the tank in 6 minutes and tap B can fill the same tank in 3 minutes. How long will both taps take to fill the same tank if opened at the same time? To read this again, tap A can fill the tank in 6 minutes and tap B does it in 3 minutes. How long will both taps take to do the needful provided they are turned on at the same time? Now, when you look at this question, you hardly tell it is fractional. Then it requires one to be technical enough to know that it's application of fractions to answer this type question. So you will start. Tap A fills a sixth of the tank in 1 minute. Tap A fills a sixth of the tank in 1 minute. Because of the 6 minutes, so if it's pouring the water at the same pressure, so it will pour in 1 or fill a sixth of the tank per minute. That's why we say tap A fills a sixth of the tank in 1 minute. And the fact being that tap B does fill the same tank in 3 minutes, then the same tap B fills a third of the tank in a single minute. Now the question is asking us to tell how long the 2 taps will take if they are opened and fixed to the tank at the same time. Now that there is a combination of filling, we shall then apply the addition of fractions. So we get the fraction that is filled in the tank by tap A, which is a 6 per minute, added to that of B per minute. That's why we say a 6 plus a third, where the LCM of the denominator is 6 and 3 remains 6, and then right here equals 9. Out of 6, multiply each of the 2 by the same LCM. As 6 times 6, that is, put in brackets, plus a third times 6 like we did in addition of fractions. Then are we oblique to our cancellation? So do we, by 6 ones, 6 ones, 3 divided by 3 ones, and then 6 divided by 3 divided by 2. Then do we multiply 1 by 1 to get 1, as well as 1 by 2 to get 2, out of the same LCM 6. Where 1 plus 2 divided by 3 out of the 6. And say all fractions apart from 4 will ever be reduced, which 4 are pairs, square root, reciprocal probability, of which this answers none of the 4. Therefore, we must do reduce. So 3 out of 6 is further reducible by 3 if you know tables of multiplication. You say 3 by 3 once and 6 by 3 get 2, thereby getting or filling a half per minute. So if they connect their waters to the tank at once, they will fill a half of the tank per minute. Now the question is, how long will it take the 2 taps to fill the same tank? You say it will take, get a whole tank divided by the fraction for the combined taps. You got as a half, so you say 1 divided by a half, which 1 as a fraction means 1 out of 1, Remember in the division of fractions we said the divisor must be reciprocated on changing division to multiplication. So have we changed. So write 2 out of 1 being the reciprocal over half. And then in multiplication of fractions, we multiply the numerators alone, then later the denominators. So 1 times 2, you get a 2. Out of 1 times 1, you get 1. So they will take 2 minutes to fill the tank if turned on at the same time. So that's how we apply fractions to get the duration or the time taken by the given taps connected to a tank. So that's how one we successfully answer. Alternatively, one can use the short method. It is also recognized worldwide, and if you have a question like that, you just say product out of sum. Where does sum come from? Because of the combination of the 2 taps in doing one duty of filling a tank. So we say product out of sum. You know, product is a technical word that means the result after multiplying 2 or more numbers, and then sum, the result after adding 2 or more numbers. So we look at the 2 durations of 6 minutes and 3 minutes respectively. That is for tab A and B, and do multiply them on top. That is at the numerator level, then at the denominator level, do add them. So we say 6 times 3 out of 6 plus 3, where 6 times 3 you get 18, and 6 plus 3 you get 9. You get 18 divided by 9, cancel properly. You get the 2 minutes directly. So both are recognized, but I prefer this first one too, the shorter working. Please learn both so that you get a choice, for none of you is a beggar, where the beggars lack what's called choice. So please, you can use this as well as that to answer. I say preferably the upper working. As we look at the second example that reads, a tank has 2 taps. One fills a 10th of the tank in 1 minute, and another fills a 15th of the tank in 1 minute. The main question reads, how long will it take both taps to fill the tank if opened at the same time? Here, it's very easy, for the fractions are brought directly, whereas number 1 we had to sense the number was application of fractions. But here, because both are filling, we shall start with the addition. Say fraction filled in 1 minute, you use the said a 10th added to a 15th. So you say a 10th plus a 15th, determine the LCM of the denominators 10 and 15, which happens to be 30. Do like you always do in addition of fractions. Write out of 30, thereby multiplying each of the given fractions by, say, 30. You go a 10th times 30 in brackets plus a 15th times 30, thereby dividing or effecting the cancellation by 10 here. 10 by 10 once, and 30 by 10 you get 3. And then you go a 15th times 30 divided by 15. 15 divided by 15 once, and then 30 divided by 15 you get 2. Then multiply 1 by 3 to get a 3. 1 by 2 get a 2 out of the 30. Add 3 and 2 to get 5 out of 30. Which 5 out of 30 is further reducible by 5, so do you. Reduce and say by 5 once, and 30 by 5, get a 6. Then finally, they will fill a 6 per minute. And now, the question is, how long will both taps take to fill the tank? You are free to say they will take as the heading, or it will take. So it is a full tank or single tank to which the 2 are connected. That's how we say a whole divided by a 6th. And then we go 1 out of 1 times reciprocal over 6, which is 6 out of 1. Multiply 1 by 6 to get 6 out of 1 times 1. Where 6 divided by 1 is a 6, they will take 6 minutes to fill the tank if both are turned on at the same time. So in short, this is easier, for it shows the very topic under which you are going to apply the given fractions. Whereas number 1, hardly will you see any fraction. So if you are not technical enough to detect that the topic fractions, you will then not start. You will not get any mark or the 6 marks which it is likely to carry. As we look at example number 3 for this candidate class P7, and so does it read: tab A takes 6 minutes and tab B takes 4 minutes to fill the tank. How many minutes will it take the 2 tabs to fill the tank if opened at the same time? This is a bit emphatic on to number 1, where there is no fraction and both are filling. Please apply what we did in number 1. The only difference are the duration of 6 minutes as well as the 4 minutes, as opposed to number 1 which had 6 and 3. So we start with the application of fraction. To say now that tab A takes 6 minutes to fill the tank, you say tab A fills a sixth of the tank in 1 minute. And the tab B takes 4 minutes to fill the same tank. You say tab B fills a quarter of the tank per minute. Then you say fraction filled in 1 minute, you get the determinant 6 added to a quarter. Determine the LCM of 6 and 4. For the LCM is ever for denominators, and now I've got 6 and 4 as denominators. So LCM is 12, then multiply each of the 2 by that determined LCM 12. You say as this times 12, in brackets please, plus a quarter times 12, still in brackets. Then out of the 12, which is the LCM, do effect the cancellation by 6 here. Once 12 divided by 6 you get 2. This side by 4 once, then 12 divided by 4 you get 3. And then multiply 1 by 2 to get 2, as well as 1 by 3 to get a 3. Out of the denominator 12, then add the numerators 2 and 3 to get 5 out of a constant denominator 12. So these 2 taps will fill 5 out of 12 of the tank per minute. Then how long will it take the 2 taps to fill the tank? You say it will take. Please, these words must be taken into account. Please be careful. It will take, then you underline 1 full tank divided by the fraction filled by both per minute, which is 5 out of 12. Then go 1 out of 1, change the division to multiplication, reciprocate the divisor. So that's 12 out of 5. From 5 out of 12, I've got 12 out of 5. That's reciprocation. Multiply the numerators as well as denominators singly. So 1 times 1 you get 12, and then 1 times 5 you get 5. Then no out of means divide by. So say 12 divided by 5. So 5 by 5 once, 12 divided by 5, 2 remainder 2. You get 2 whole numbers, 2 out of 5 means. So it takes 2 and 2 fifth means for these 2 taps to fill the tank. Never fear a mixed fractional answer. The first 2 examples, actually 2 yes, they have brought whole number kind of answer, but here I've got a mixed fractional answer. So if you follow the rightful procedure, never should you fail to recognize this mixed fractional answer. So correct, please let it be. So that is how we deal with combination of taps onto a tank to determine the time they take to fill the same tank. As you look at number 4, I know it's bringing something else as opposed to addition we apply there. It reads tap R takes 3 minutes to fill a tank, while tap K takes 6 minutes to empty. This one's emptying. To empty the same tank. So here you realize one is filling, another one is drawing out. It's emptying the tank. Okay, now how long will it take the tank to get filled if both taps are left open at the same time? One is connected up, another one is connected down. One is filling, another one is emptying. So there you must know the action here. One is filling, another one is emptying. Then we are going to apply fractions, yes, but the operation is going to be subtraction. One is emptying. So start with the application like we did. You say tab R fills, because it's doing the filling. Tab R fills a third of the tank in 1 minute. That's what you say first. Tab R fills a third of the tank in 1 minute. Then you go, tab K empties, it's not filling, empties a sixth of the tank in 1 minute. The first two statements you write, and then you go the next heading saying fraction filled in 1 minute. Fraction filled in 1 minute. Remember, one is filling, another one is emptying. So the examiner must be careful as setting here, because the upper tab must be greater, must be bigger, so that the fraction that is actually emptied per minute doesn't take all the water out. So therefore, we go a third minus a sixth. Y minus 1 is emptying. So that's application of subtraction of fractions. Because of the word emptying, we rightfully do choose a subtraction. So do you write a minus sign of subtraction in between a third and a sixth? Determine the LCM, which is 6. Do the needful. Please multiply each of the given fractions by the determine LCM 6. A third times 6 minus a sixth times 6, and then out of the denominator 6. Then do cancel by 3 ones. By 3 get 2. Then by 6 ones, and by 6 ones. Then multiply 1 by 2 to get 2. Remember to maintain our minus. 1 times 1 get 1 out of 6. Where 2 minus 1 get 1. Then out of 6. So much as 1 is emptying, a 6 will be filled per minute. For the tab that is filling is bigger than the one emptying. So we still remain a 60 per minute, which will be filled. So it's that a 6 that will be in accumulation for every minute that will later fill the tank, although it will take longer to fill the tank than the 3 minutes when R was not disturbed by K. So how long will it take if both tabs are left open at the same time? Put the next heading and say it will take 1 full tab divided by a 6 that remains to be filled per minute. They'll say 1 out of 1 times 6 out of 1. Thereby getting 6 means will be the duration of filling that tank, much as 1 is disturbing the other. One of the 2 taps is disturbing the other. That is tab K disturbs tab R. So tab K does the emptying, tab R is filling. But the fact being that tab R takes 3 minutes only to fill the tank when turned on alone, and K takes as many as 6 minutes, then tab K seems to be a smaller tab. So it cannot take all the waters that actually feed in per minute by the one doing the filling. That's why this 6 will be in accumulation per minute later. 6 minutes will be the duration for filling the same tank. So then we go to the 5th example today, and it reads, Kauchi's father gave him 2/3 of his land. Kauchi's father gave him 2/3 of his land. Kauchi gave out a half of what he was given by his father to his sister Nakatunda. To his sister Nakatunda. Now the question is, what fraction of the land did Nakatunda get? Here the key word to answer this question is just of. Be careful about the word of. Kauchi was given 2/3 of the father's land. And now he also gave out a half of that he was given. So a half of 2/3 was given to Nakatunda. So that's why you say Nakatunda got a half of 2/3. A half of 2/3. And now of, like we did in P.6, we say that of means times. So we do multiply a half by 2/3. We detect that 2 and 2 are divisible by the same 2. So we divide by 2 once, by 2 once. Multiply the numerators and denominators. That is 1 times 1, get 1. And 1 times 3, get 3. And get a third. So now we're talking about a third of the land. Here, the notable word is of, a half of what he was given. Remember, he was given 2/3. So therefore, he gave away a half of 2/3 to the sister Nakatunda. So work out a half of 2/3 properly. You will surely get a third and nothing else. And that must be done in that way forever and ever. Amen. So as we look at last example in this episode, so does it read, if 3/8 of the land is filled in 12 minutes, how long will it take to fill the whole tank? If 3/8 of the tank is filled in 12 minutes, how long will it take to fill the whole tank? So it's a question of understanding here. The 3/8 of the tank is filled in 12 minutes. Meaning the fraction filled in 12 minutes is 3 out of 8. And indeed this is 12 minutes. So therefore you say 3/8 represents 12 minutes. 3/8 represents 12 minutes because 3/8 of the tank is filled in 12 minutes. So both are representatives here in terms of fractions and there are in terms of the duration of the minutes. So you say 3/8 represents 12 minutes. What's the meaning of this? 3 parts of the 8 for this particular tank represents 12 minutes. So there are the 3 parts that mean 12 minutes. So you say 3 parts represent 12 minutes. Then you go, 1 part represents 12 divided by 3 minutes. So 1 part represents 4 minutes. What about the 8 parts for the full tank? You say 8 parts represents 8 times 4 minutes, where 8 times 4 is 32 minutes. So therefore the tank takes 32 minutes to get fully filled with any liquid in question. So therefore that is the answer to that particular question. Always interpret the questions and then you will apply accordingly. Teacher Katimbo that has taught you all that much. For more information about the same or mathematics in general, do call this same Teacher Katimbo on the MTN line 0776251655. Alternatively, use Airtel 07572330066. Otherwise, that is the end of this lesson. I'm looking forward to having you in the next episode. That is, if the Almighty wishes so. Otherwise, stay safe.